Hello everyone, this is Sherry from Turquoise Dreaming. How you doing today? Welcome to my channel and thank you for joining me. I'm glad you're here. I am just taking off where I left off in my last video working on these no-sew journals. And so I literally didn't do anything with the pages except for I picked out some things for the cover because I wanted to be ready to work on that with you today. I've got my coffee here. It's literally the next morning, so if you're here in the morning, I hope you're sipping your coffee with me. And so I left off when my buzzer rang last night. That worked perfectly. I'm going to try to do that from now on, but I do have to leave my door open a little to make sure I hear the microwave. I'm close to the kitchen, but it's, it's not right next door, but it's close. And so I can hear the microwave when my bell goes off. That means I need to go. Got my timer set there on my microwave. So, but it's a little chilly and I have my little heater going on, my little space heater in here. It's a little chilly this morning. So it warmed up yesterday though. It was chilly in the morning and then it warmed up to 70 degrees. It was so and sunny, so nice for a November day in North Carolina. I mean, sometimes November could be like, no more warm weather for you type of thing. It's November. Get used to the cold weather. But yeah, 70 degrees is awesome. So I'll take it. I'll take that any day. So let's see. We were putting in this random page because it was just a random page I have left from something that was sitting here. And I had this one signature that needed 2 pages and one signature that needed 1 more page. So we're going to literally, like I said, just take off from where we left off. Maybe you're ahead of me. Maybe you've already finished your signatures if you're doing this with me. But I need to finish mine. So let's see now. I think it was this one, but I'm not even sure I got the right signature here. Let me see. One needed 2 pieces. Yeah, this is it. So I'm going to put this one right here. And then, so now they both need 1 more page. And then I'm going to count the pages. I haven't even really counted the pages yet. Let's go ahead and use Jovi's last 2 pieces of her coffee dyed paper with the gold flecks in it. I think that's really pretty and, special. So I'm going to go ahead and use those. So let's fold those in half. And as a reminder, you're doing maybe 8.5 by 11. I just cut mine down a little bit because I had to cut the white edges off my digital print. They didn't print. I tried to print them all the way to the edge, but maybe, I don't know, there's a setting I'm missing somewhere because I never get to the edge, if you know what I mean. But my printer, the printer I used yesterday, has like lots of settings, so it could be hidden somewhere. I'll have to look for that. So let's see, so that should be good for the length. And then the width, let me see. And let me cut a little bit off of this side. I just don't want it sticking out of my cover, you know what I mean? And I don't want to have any problems when I go to bind it and all that. I just want everything to be easy peasy on this journal. And it's a no-sew journal. If you're just joining me, go look at yesterday's video so you can get started on it and catch up with us. But we're doing it with a composition book cover so that it's easy, ready to go. And then we're just putting some signatures together now. So all we did to make it easy was to use 8.5 by 11 paper. Then you just fold them in half. And I was inspired. I linked her video below in my description. Inspired by Heather at Ruby and Pearl XO. And I watched her video in the last few days and I was super excited. I said, I think I'll do that for my design team project. I have done no-sew journals before, but not exactly like this. So I thought it'd be so fun. Let's see, did I do this wrong? Yeah, this goes here. And then we need 1 more here. And so then we need to count our pages. I want to make sure I have enough pages in here. If I don't, I'll add a few more of my coffee dyed pages. Oh, did I do this wrong? I think I did. I think I did. Let me make sure. I have my digital prints And then every other page is something like what I call my writing pages, like ledger paper and things like that. Oh, I need another one here too. Wow. Okay. Okay, so I need 2 more here. So here's my coffee dyed paper. I have this pretty one here too, where I lace dyed it. I haven't mastered that yet, but I think it came out really cool. There's a little bit of lace down here, and then it also has some of my Rit dye on it, so that's a nice one. And these all have coffee, or most of these that I pulled out have coffee and Rit dye. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can cut 3, because I know I need at least 1 more for that signature too. So that might be all that we need. I mean, you don't have to put any certain number of pages. I'm kind of following Heather's instructions and kind of also doing my own thing, you know, put my own spin on it. But I think she said she used 15 papers. So 15 papers, you know, if you use 15 papers, you got a good amount of papers in pages in your journal. And then you still have plenty of room to, you know, put in your stuff, your decorations and your whatever you're going to put in to make it your journal, your pictures and your mementos and things. So 15 pages is good. I think I would I personally would only do it. The max would be 20 papers, but 15 is good. So we're going to see. I think I'm going to go ahead, because I have done 20. I have done less, so I think I'll stick with it. It's a little bit hard to cut through 6 layers here to have this folded in half. Yeah, my cutter doesn't like that. My cutter doesn't like 6 layers, because when you fold it in half, not just 3 layers, it's 6 layers. All right, so and we're going for a handmade look on this journal, on these journals. It's going to end up being 2, I think. So we're going for a handmade look, non-perfect. What am I trying to say? Non-perfect. Okay, so we got 3 more pages here. I think they're the right size. Okay, so let's put these in. Okay. So where do we need pages? And then we are going to count both of these signatures. Because while I'm doing 2, maybe you're just doing 1. I don't know. You can do 2 if you want. You can do as many as you want, right? I just don't like to do too many at the same time. Too many journals. Well, I thought I needed another one. Maybe this one's done. Okay, so we got, let's count, and then at the same time we'll see if we need any more pages. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And I think we have every other like I wanted. So 16, I'm going to probably leave that as 16 since I ended up with 16. I was going for 15, but that's okay. 1 more is not a big deal. And then when you fold them, I was saying is when you fold them in half, then you double, you know, double that amount. So if you have 15, then you have 30 pages, but then actually you count both sides of the page, you know, just like in a book, when you count the pages, it's not 1, it's 1, 2, front and back, 1, 2. So front and back of 30 is 60, right? So you actually have 60 pages. In case you're a beginner and you want trying to figure out how to count the pages, that's technically how you count book pages, right? Okay, so let's see, I've got to take these apart here and get all my pages in here in this one. So we've got 1 there, 1 there. We got 1 there. We need 2 more, I think. 1 here. And 1 here. And I want to count these. I want to see if I have 16 or 18 or what's going on with this one. And they are, this is a piece of the resume paper that I printed my digital kit on, so that the first page is, you know, nice weight. And all these pages are really a nice weight. None of these are really old and brittle or anything. So, and I want a pretty page to start with too. So let's count these papers real quick. We're just counting the papers, not the pages. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Oh, I don't need one in the middle. The middle's supposed to be so it's 17 on this one. The middle's supposed to be a digital page, you know, so you have a pretty middle. That's what I'm doing anyway. It doesn't have to be a digital page. That's just what I'm doing. You can do whatever you want. Okay, so right now we have our signatures done, unless we need to trim something later. We can try them out in our book covers, in our composition book covers real quick, and see how they're fitting. So let's do that. As far as the width is the only thing I'd be concerned about. I know the length is good. So we've got a good amount there. In fact, I might trim this a little bit. I still have ½ inch there. I'd rather have like 1/4 of an inch. Let's see this one. I think one of them, the other one I cut a little less wide. Yeah, this one's perfect. This one's got about 1/4 of an inch. Top and bottom, probably good on this one. So now what we're going to do, I want to go ahead and decorate my covers before I put my pages in, because I want the inside, whatever I put on the inside, to go all the way across here, and not like, you know, if I put my pages in first, then I'm decorating this half and that half separately on the cover. And I want to put in fabric. You can do it however you want. If you want to sew in your pages first, you can, but I'm not sewing in my pages yet, and I'm going to show you how I'm sewing in. It's not the regular 3 pamphlet stitch or anything like that. I need a tissue. Okay, so my covers are ready. My base covers, except this one. This is you know, they're both composition books. I can see this one. See how this one's together here? And I don't think I really need to smooth this out or anything. I think this is fine. I've got a string here. Pull that out. If you're worried about this not being smooth, you can put, like, say you want to put your pages in first and then decorate. You can put some pretty tape in here, you know, since you might see it that way. I'm not going to be able to see my tape because I'm covering this with a solid piece on both of these. So, but what I want to do on this one, I want to put a little bit of tape here because I feel like this is a little, I just don't want this roughness under. I'm going to put fabric, and I don't want this roughness here. So I'm going to get my tape real quick and just put a piece of tape over that. You can use whatever tape you want. You can use washi tape. If you're covering it completely, it doesn't matter. You're not going to see it. But you can use masking tape or fabric tape or washi tape, or, you know, just whatever. This is duct tape that I use in my book binding anyway, you know, when I make a new spine. So I just have this handy, and it'll make me a nice flat space here. Or in it. Plus, I you know, it's a little thin there because it's not together. Over on the other one it's together, so I have that layer there, but that middle is a little thin since it's since the middle part came apart there for some reason. I don't know what happened when I took it apart. I don't remember. It's been a while since I took these apart, and I just had them in my closet. So just a piece of this duct tape that I use, that I get at Walmart, not a big deal. But use any tape you have around that will, you know, stick good and lay flat. So done with that, I think, unless I would decide to put some over here. So I'm just going to get this nice and flat here. And this middle part is what I was concerned about. So I want that to be nice and flat as possible. And I'm going to smooth out, trying to get a wrinkle there. Smooth out my little tape here. And, you know, everything else is good here on this composition book. So the question is, do I want some over here too? I might just go ahead and put a piece there just for strength. Not that it really needs it. Like I could totally not do it and it would probably be just fine. But just that I like my journals to be really strong, and you know, I mean, I kind of like make them so that, you know, I hope that they last forever, you know what I mean? So I just, you know, just for extra strength, you know, I do whatever I can to make them strong to last forever. So if that's possible. So let's just smooth this one out. See, that only took a second. And now we have that extra strength there. Okay, there we go. So let's see, I think I'm going to do the outsides first. So what I picked out, I think I showed you part of it yesterday, but I'll work on the rest, and we'll just see how far we get again, and then just go from there. Every day we'll just go, you know, as far as we can, and see where we end up. So it doesn't matter which one I do first. So I first have this pretty, these are, I don't think I need my paper cutter anymore. Let me put that behind me. I got these these are, see this? These are upholstery samples that I picked up at the thrift store one day, and there were a bunch of them, and so I probably got over a dozen of them, and I debated, like I picked out the prettiest ones and debated whether I should get the rest, and I did. I ended up getting them all. They were super cheap, and look how pretty. And it's thick, you know, because it's like upholstery fabric, so it makes for a really nice strong covering. So I think what I want to do is put it in the middle. I want to put my book in the middle of it, so that if I want to, I can fold over the edges. I can cut them off or fold them over. Let me see. I want to make sure which way I want it. So I've got it right now. I've got it this way. But see, these upholstery fabrics, the thing is they have a little hole. I guess this is where they are in the book, the upholstery sample book right here. There were some posts that went through here. So there's two little holes where they, so I kind of want the holes in the back of the book. And I might or might not cover them up. It's not a big deal, really. But on the front part, I have this paper. I never tried to, see, I don't think I want to try to peel that off, but I want to use this piece. I don't want to cut that off, that whole piece off, not to have that on the back, and it just adds extra strength. But what I'm debating is, do I want to just go up to the edge? And it has a nice pinked, you know, like cut with pinking shears edge here. So do I want to put my pinking sheared edge up to the edge and leave it like that? And then I can fold this over in the back. Or do I want to try to fold this over and make it even, kind of like that, and then fold this over the edges? And my only problem with folding it over the edge is this is thick here, and this is going to be hard to keep down with just glue. So I'm a little worried about that. So I'm thinking of putting it on the edge. And that'll lend to my homemade look anyway that I'm going for, my homemade or handmade look. So let's just go for that, I think. I don't know if I've ever actually done that before, so that's why I'm kind of like, it's a little different for me. That's why I'm kind of like hesitating at all. But I've got my fabric tack here. So, you know, we're working with fabric. So a good idea to have a nice fabric glue. I get mine at Walmart. They have it at my Walmart with all the glues in the craft section. So you want to get this nice and flat. So let's just go ahead and do our front part first. I've got it centered, and then we'll go from there. So I'm going to go ahead, just go for it here, so we can get something done today in this video. You can use paper. You can do the same thing with paper that I'm doing with fabric. Okay, if you want to use paper, just do the same thing with paper. And maybe you know, like a more layered look, or, you know, maybe torn, You know, you can look at Heather's video. She used some beautiful, I think it was mostly papers, different papers, you know, book pages, whatever. And she, you know, did it. Hers was very beautiful. I loved her colors and how hers turned out. So if you want to get a different view, look at Heather's video from Ruby and Pearl or XO. Okay, so I'm just going to get it right up to the edge. So it's kind of like almost going, my pinking edge is going over the edge. So it's kind of covered up. I don't want, you know, I don't want my composition book showing really. So, you know, the idea is to cover it up. So let me make sure I am doing that. I'm going to pull it up a little bit here before it dries and make sure it's covering up my and I can see it on this side is peeking over just slightly. So there we go. Let's smooth that out. And then we'll move on to the rest of it, the rest of the cover. So you can use a little card here. You can use your scissors to, you know, if you want to do this and get it all nice and smooth out and kind of like spread your glue around under there. You can use even a ruler maybe. Let's try a ruler. And go like that, you know. You can use a credit card or a gift card or your hand. Yeah, you don't have to have any special tools. Okay, so I think that's nice and smooth and looking beautiful. So let's just fold out our cover and do the rest of it here. So you want to get, I went up right up to the fold in the spine there with the first part. So we're going to do our back half now. And we're going to do the same thing and get it all nice and smooth and glued down. This Fabri-Tac, if you've never used it, it works really good. It just holds, this is my Fabri-Tac and my art glitter glue. I'm sorry, it's morning. I might have to take a drink of my coffee here. But yeah, they're just my most trusted glues, so they have not ever failed me. So I just kind of just stick with those for this type of thing. So let's get this. I want to make sure I have enough here because I don't want any wrinkles right here. You know what I mean? I don't want any wrinkles when I am folding back and forth my spine. So I'm going to put some extra here. And even on the little, right next to where I've already glued and on the little fold, right on the fold. That's a lot, but I just don't want any wrinkles. I want it to be nice and flat. Okay, so let's see if we have accomplished my goal. Made it nice and flat. If there was a wrinkle, I would say don't stress. You can pull it up. You have a second to pull it up and back and forth before your glue dries. You have probably a few seconds. So just do it real quick. And you got it all nice and flat, hopefully. And if you don't stress because we're going for a handmade, even a rustic, and maybe you're making yours more rustic than me, you know. So let's fold. I'm going to go ahead and fold here and be brave or dumb and fold it. I just want to see how we're doing and just kind of like get it in. There's a little groove there too. I'm going to get it in the groove. Okay, let's see how we did. I want to make sure I didn't mess it up. Okay, so I'm going to push that down. See, there's the groove, and I don't mind seeing any kind of groove or anything. I just don't want, try not to have any wrinkles. So let's let this one dry for a second and go over and do the other one. Here's the other one. Put that down there. Where's my other fabric? These are both similar in color. Very similar, but a little bit different. That one has reddish cherries on it, and this one has, I'm going to call them, maybe they're grapes, and these have blue grapes. And my holes on this one, here's my back. And so where do I have holes? Yeah, here's the holes on this one. So I'm going to put them in the back like that. Do it the same way. Kind of get it centered. And then turn over and glue it down. All right. Isn't this fun? Isn't this fun? I'm having a blast here before I go to work today. I couldn't wait to work on it. I mean, I couldn't even, when I start a new project, I can't even sleep hardly. I get so excited to work on it, you know what I mean? So I got up really early. Started this project last night. Got up super early. I'm not even going to tell you how early I got up because you'll be like, what, Sherry? You need some sleep. But I got up super early, made my coffee, did a few things before I did the video, like my regular stuff in the morning, you know, that I do, like extra stuff that I do not getting ready for work, but other stuff that I do in the morning. Did all that and then made my video. Still had time for my video this morning to work on my journals, so it is what it is, right? Sometimes. And I hardly ever wake up early, so when I do, I'm like, woohoo, I got some extra time. Got some extra time today. So excited. Okay, so we're going to try to center this. No. We're putting the pinking edge on the, that's right. I almost did it wrong. Goodness gracious. And I want it peeking over a little bit. See, I'm getting too excited here. I'm going to do it wrong. Okay, there we go. So you have a second to move things around. So, like I said, not too long with dry this glue. That's another thing I like about the glues. These two glues that I use, they dry really quickly. So you don't have to like wait too long before you move on to another step. Okay, I liked kind of using the ruler last time. I felt like maybe that was really spreading out my glue. So, and this one has two different edges, so I'm using the more flatter edge to do this, but just kind of, you know, because you're making little streams of glue, so if you do this, you're kind of like spreading out your glue. I feel like you are anyway. Maybe you're not as much as I think, but then you're getting it all over so you can have a nice flat surface. Okay, now let's move on to the back. And yeah, I'm probably going to pick up some more glue. Since these are no-sew, I'll be using more glue this weekend on these two journals. So when I go to Walmart on Saturday, I'm going to definitely look for some more glue and make sure I have enough to last through this project. And many more. I think this is the medium. I think Walmart did have the small, medium, and large, but they've recently redone their craft section, even the glues and everything. So at least mine has, and I think they just have the medium. I don't think they have the tiny one anymore. I think they just have the medium and the large, which is fine because the small is really too small. It doesn't last long enough. Okay, again, I want to make sure I have enough on my, like, the spine of the composition book. I don't want any wrinkles or anything, and so I'm getting it in the groove and right next to where, I just don't want to put too much where it soaks through the fabric. You know what I mean? Even though this is thick, it probably could still soak through and make glue marks or something. So I like enough, but not too much. And it's coming through my holes. I gotta be careful over there too. Those holes that was where it was in the upholstery book previously. Okay, so again with my ruler, let's do that. I like that. I do have a little credit card I use too, but I have it over there. I don't have it here on my desk right now, so I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm just gonna use this ruler. And this is also looking very beautiful. Okay, now we can let this one dry and work on the other one some more. Well, let's put that one over there. I'm not going to bend this one like I did the other one. I felt like I almost made a wrinkle. So let's see how this one does without bending it right now. And let it dry nice and flat. Because you could pull it, you know, if it's not dry, you could pull it where it makes a wrinkle when you're folding. So let's just leave that so it can dry flat. Okay, the next thing that we're going to do, I think, go ahead and do our inside, and then we'll do a little decoration here and some layering on the front cover. And that might be tomorrow's video, since this might take a little while. So my plan, so you can just totally, if you want to make it easier on yourself and you've never made a journal before, and you want to do something a little easier than what I'm doing right now, you can totally just cut this off. Take your scissors and cut right here all the way around, and you'll be done with that. And then put something here. I'm going to fold this in as best as I can. Fold it in and glue it down. We'll see how that goes. And then I cut a piece of fabric. This is just cotton fabric that I felt like matched my outside good enough to be coordinating. I just happen to have this. You know, I didn't go out and buy it special or anything. And this is going to go on the inside. And I might have to trim this up a little bit, but that's the plan, okay? That's the plan. Okay, so let's glue this down first, because I want that to go over this, okay? So let's Fabri-Tac again. See, normally I would sew this down, so it's a little bit hard for me to not be sewing. Let's see, I'm going to put it on the fabric, because I want to see exactly where it's going. I don't want to put too much on the book and then have it too much on the book part, you know, this. I'm going to cut off my corners, because that's going to be too bulky where you're folding and folding. So let's just, if you were doing it this way, and I have my wrong scissors here. I'm going to get my other scissors, they're a little sharper. These little ones right here are a little sharper than those. Cut off my corners. The other one I don't have a corner, because that one we lined up evenly with the front cover. Oop, there's my beep. My beep, time to go. Okay. So next video we'll be working on the inside of the covers and finish up this and see what else we get done. So thanks for watching today. Hope you have a great day and happy crafting.